Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice qualifiers for the North American server, as we're about to get into our second last series of the day. And this one will determine who gets the opportunity to go into a qualifying match against Dia. It's going to be Scarlett going up against Maru. And we do want to just apologize briefly, as we did have one or two drops during our previous series. Bit of an internet issue, and not much that we could have actually done about it, but we're hoping that that does not continue.
Fix the internet, James. Fix the internet.
Please.
Unmute yourself and fix the internet.
All right, I'll see you in a bit. 1 second.
Let's go ahead and hop into the last best of 3 of the day. Of course, that final match is going to be a best of 5 like the other 2 qualifying matches we just saw.
Yep.
I'm excited for this one, James. For the very first time today, we have the honor to introduce our Canadian Zerg. It is Scarlett.
Let's see how she's going to perform here against a powerful Terran down in the bottom right-hand corner in the red. Representing Jin Green Wings, it is Maru. We've seen quite a bit of Maru today.
Is that a...
Hello.
Drone scouting? Maybe some proxy hatchery shenanigans? Maybe...
This is something that I was saying to our production crew before. This is something she likes to do. Gets very aggressive with these kinds of things. So she's... attempting to do us a favor and not have us keeping up until 8 AM in the wee hours of the morning, apparently.
I mean, I definitely think it's a good thing that Eleza won his match, because he would have been sweating by now. If he has a 9 AM flight, you definitely want to leave your house the absolute latest at 7, even if you live close. And that would have been quite hard, because I think we are closing in at 6 AM, right?
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
Yeah, I don't think he would have made it.
He would have had to have forfeit.
Yeah, that would have been so sad.
Yeah.
Eleza does not deserve that. Maybe we would have had quicker games. Maybe we could have sent a message to the Terrans. Be like, guys,
okay, can we just
Maru, Gumi, you guys turn it into a best of 1? Well, Maru is going to go for the Reaper fast expand, which is obviously what Scarlett is hoping for here.
Yeah.
Command center on the low ground as well. We'll keep a close eye on what Scarlett decides to do. Could be Queen Ling. Could also potentially see a Ro4. Okay, second round. This is definitely going to be a Ro4 build. With all this gas being mined, can only assume that we're going to see a Ro4. And as soon as the spawning pool is done, now let's see if the Reaper of Maru is going to find what it's looking for. It's heading in the right direction, but it's going to go down the ramp. That's bad news for Maru.
Yeah, he's going to go all the way to the side of the map. So the Roach one's going to finish. A few Roaches are going to come out, and the creep was just barely on the edge of the vision range as that went out. And then from there, Ravagers could get morphed in, and then they deal with Reapers very well because of the range. They deal with, well, everything really very well at that point.
Well, these 2 Lings are going to show up immediately. It's going to pull this Reaper back. I'm not sure if the Reaper even made it all the way. Potentially, Maru could just misread this and pretend that this is just a regular good old, 16 pool where, okay, no, obviously the STV does know. This is going to spot the creep. It's going to spot the Queen as well. Bonka being thrown up immediately on the high ground. Cancel the command center. Doesn't even bother. Maru feels all he has to do is survive, and then he's going to be in a great position. Gets the creep tumor. That's quite nice. And he even keeps the Reaper alive.
Yeah, the units were too focused on that. Actually, you can't cancel an original creep tumor, right? You can only cancel the ones that come off the first one. So
no, you can't cancel the one that you drop.
Yeah, so that's actually not too bad there by Maru to get that.
Maru's going to follow this up with a very quick starport as well. Cyclone, actually, this Overlord is going to take a lot of damage. The Roaches and Ravages are not here yet. And I don't think there's enough energy for Transfuse.
If he shuts it down.
Oh my god, that is massive. That means no more high ground vision.
Wait, there's one above? Is there one above?
Yeah, okay, there's another one coming in.
Yeah, close though, because, I mean, only having one now means you don't have a backup anymore. So if the Cyclone can get around to getting that...
Could potentially make one from the proxy hatchery, of course, but... I mean, even just losing the Overlord is a pretty big deal. That's going to supply block Scarlett for a little bit, as we can see. And she's already floating 360 minerals. That's not what you want when you do a 1-base all-in.
Geez, that barrack's really, really low at the moment. And actually started, what was that, a spike crawler? I couldn't really see.
Afraid that the Reaper was chasing it, I think.
Yeah, we'll have their barracks relocating. Now, one thing that's going to help this out a lot is that the Starpot's just finished up. Could quite easily get out a Banshee, because there's only one Queen at the front. Cloak started, Banshee's on the way.
Yeah, I don't think Maru is going to take a lot of damage from this. He is going to fall behind economically eventually, since Scarlett is expanding. Scarlett is also going to be able to cover this entire map in creep, because he's going to have a bunch of active creep tumors this early on into the game, which is obviously fantastic news for her. But can she deal with the Banshees that are going to head towards her side of the map?
Where's that Queen? To get back here and deal with this pesky Reaper.
Scarlett has a lot of money. She can already start a layer if she would like to.
few more drones out and about with those duo overlords on the way as well. Continuing the contain.
If this turns into a macro game, this map
will be purple.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. This map is going to end up on Reddit. Look at Scarlett's creep threat at the 7-minute mark.
Extending out from your opponent's side of the map and your side of the map.
I mean, this is going to be rough for Maru. If Maru doesn't do a lot of economic damage, it's even going to be hard for him to get his natural. He has to drop his scan there.
I think after that Banshee, you get a Raven.
Yeah, I think you're kind of forced. I think this is one of these games where you just have to get a Raven. If you don't do it, the entire map will be purple, and he's just going to be forced to drop so many scans. Reaper tries to get a couple drones, but doesn't exactly succeed. Well done there by Scarlett, keeping her drones alive.
Good control. Still 6 Ravagers out here being annoying. And if they had the high ground vision, they'd know where those siege tanks were. Maybe plant one, but...
Maru is going to scan for the first time. Doesn't really get that many crypto ones, but he does get... did he barely miss one? It seems like Maru missed one if I'm looking at the mini-map. Yeah, as this Banshee is going to do a lot of damage here, though. The Spore Crawlers were not done yet.
And I think that Tumor down at the bottom was an active one, so she can effectively spread it again.
Yeah, that's painful. If you scan, you absolutely want to get all the crypto ones. But I mean, it's still a very big deal. It's still not going to allow this command center to land.
Yep. Okay, so the Ravager's going to run away. Banshee's coming back to help on out that situation. Leia's going down 4 more drones. More Banshees being produced here by Maru.
Maru drops another scan, and basically it's just for that single creep tumor.
I really feel like a Raven would have been a better choice. Even though, I mean, okay, so he's going to have 3 Banshees to be annoying and constantly put on pressure and stuff like that, but is it going to do the same as the 2 Banshees have done at the moment? What's that third Banshee can do?
Is this the game where Aspire would make sense?
Maybe. Wait, a 4th Banshee's coming out.
I think Aspire would make a lot of sense.
This is so many Banshees.
But there's double Evo as well, so it could just be a Hydralisk Dan as we get missile attacks as well. So I assume we're just going to see good old Roach Hydra in a ZvT. At least a couple of Roaches for now. Maru does have a reasonable army, by the way. That is 40 army supply.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he's getting 4 Banshees.
Maybe.
Maru's going to run to the other side of the map with his Marines, with his tanks. And this is actually going to be quite hard for Scarlett to defend.
2 more barracks being added on. You're right. If those 4 Banshees at the front are able to pick away at the anti-air, then there's going to be nothing left.
That one queen that's so low on HP is the queen with all the energy. Scarlett cannot afford to lose that queen.
Good reason to focus it against some of the active creep tumors as well. These siege tanks are getting in dangerous position against them.
I don't know if Scarlett can hold this. This is very hard. There are 6 more Roaches in the way, but these tanks are going to siege up. These are 4 tanks very quickly. A couple of corrosive balls do get dropped. I think there's too much DPS in this army of Maru.
Yeah, another Banshee is about to rendezvous with us as well. So now, how many queens are there? Not many, like 2, maybe. Yeah, and one of them's very low. One gets picked off. These Banshees are going to have a field day with these Marines and siege tanks. Maru, great response.
Yeah, I don't think Scarlett expected Maru to just run across the map at all, run past all the creep, basically give a big red flag that, you know, he's coming to attack her, but it worked for Maru as he defends against the proxy hatch shenanigans of Scarlett and takes a 1-0 lead in this best of 3.
I guess I got my answer as to why 4 Banshees were out and about. That's right.
If you just focus on the attack.
Yeah. Very, very powerful stuff. So that's a good start there by Maru to not only take the brunt of all of that force that I've seen Scarlett be time and time again successful with, that kind of like proxy aggression, but he read it so well. Once he sees those 2 Lings as fast as they were down there, instantly bunker on the high ground, instantly dealt with that first Overlord as well.
I guess they played against each other quite a few times on the ladder as well.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, there are not that many people cruising around at the MMR of Scarlett and Maru, so...
Yeah, it's true. Are they, I was about to say, are they in the 7K MMR bracket in Korea? But that's quite different.
Maru definitely has been there. I don't know if Scarlett ever reached 7K MMR. I don't think she did, unless I missed it. I know Cyril reached 7K on Korea.
Cyril's just... Cyril.
Was he 7? He was at least rank 1. Maybe it wasn't actually 7K, but he got very close.
Wasn't there something like a statistic where he was the first person to get 7K on every server or something?
Oh, really?
I think so.
No, I don't think he got 7K on NA, not because I don't think he could do it, but NA ladder is a lot more inactive, so like the cutoff range of MMR, like for instance to join GM, like on Europe you always have to be like 5'7" and a bit.
Yeah.
If you drop below 5'7", you get kicked out of Grandmaster League. And I think in NA you can already enter with like 5'3", 50 or something.
Right.
And so rank 1 NA is often like 6,500, while on Europe you'd be what is it, like rank 12, 13, 14 with 6.5?
Fair play, fair play.
So, I mean, you would have to win an insane amount of games and also against the other high-ranked players on NA to reach 7K. It would be quite funny to see the first rank like 5 or 600 MMR ahead of rank 2.
Yeah, that would be pretty insane. All right, let's get into game number 2. At the moment, Maru leads 1-0, and we will be going on to Blackpink for our next game. The world is watching.
I was about to say the same. I've seen that graphic a lot of times, and I never said it. And the one time I want to say it, James. I guess our brains work similar at 6 a.m. in the morning.
That's how it goes. Down at the bottom left, in the red, it's Maru. 1 game away from another qualifying match, another qualifying opportunity.
And a rematch against Deer, as Maru did took out Deer in the upper bracket. But Deer had a great run, even defeating Zest in the PvP series.
Yep.
Over here in the right top side, we're looking in the main base of our Canadian Zerg. It is Scarlett. Deciding to go for a gas pool build. Full gas build. I mean, it could just still be a macro-oriented opening. Could also be that he just wants to sneak a couple of Zerglings to the other side of the map because he knows that Maru likes to send his Reaper out, and then just once again have those 2 links at least delay that command center, right?
Yep. Good.
Or maybe he would go for 6 or 8 links and even try to kill it, but I don't think that should happen.
No, I think after the shenanigans of the first game, play this a bit more stable here. Although maybe go some aggression mid-game style.
Hey, I don't think in both days we casted any TVP at all. Oh no, actually we had a TVP because SCVs were being pulled.
Yeah.
But not today.
No, not today. Not today. I don't think.
Today lots of TVZ. I think we made the people happy, James. We picked some decent games.
Yep. Been good. Been good. Seen a lot of our Koreans. But again, it's not North American qualifier, it's North American server qualifier, which is an important distinction. And I think for a long time it's been that way for the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice, right? It's truly global, open, everywhere.
There was this one time where Snoot had this incredible run on the Koreans.
Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't even in Korea. It's just unreal. Snoot is so funny when it comes to qualifiers like that. It's just where he suddenly shines and plays absolutely amazing StarCraft at 7 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, I remember casting that. That was such a long qualifier.
I know. I remember that as well because I felt like I heard about it throughout the length of like the 7 hours. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's a great run going on, guys. Scarlett did make quite a few links, James.
Did.
And the Reaper was out of position like we predicted, and that is a lot of DPS. I mean, Maru's going to have to pull quite a few SCVs to save this command center.
Oh,
there's there's no way he lets it die.
Cancels. Cancels, man.
Wow, he cancels indeed.
Yeah.
I'm kind of shocked.
Oof.
Well, Scarlett absolutely got what he was hoping for, that's for sure.
Definitely. Too bad. KDA charges go down. This Reaper is back for vengeance. Oh, not so much vengeance now, though. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Zergling speed finishing up just in that moment means that the Reaper is going to be trapped as well. Scarlett is making more links behind this. I'm not exactly sure what he can achieve with it.
Yeah, I can't do too much unless she doesn't reveal a lot of them and then the Hellions come down and pounces. But I doubt that's going to happen. Player. Fast, fast, fast.
I just think make queens. Keep your links active. I think he wants to just see once the Hellions.
Roach for him.
Maybe if they lower the depot for the Hellions, he's going to try to run in.
This is going to be very fast. Clear a Constitution into...
Could be a Nidus too.
Could be Nidus.
Scarlett right now doesn't really have the gas income for a Nidus, but you know, if Maru turns this into a macro game, which is kind of what it looks like, yeah, I actually think that a Nidus could make quite a bit of sense here.
Good. Cloak's going down here for the Banshees, so they'll try and hop, skip, and jump over to the other side of the map. Want some pressure themselves.
I remember when the Neo Nidus was introduced, like for a while, it's like all we saw. Firecake kept doing it over and over and over again. That's when he had this great run at Home Story Cup.
Yeah.
Even took some maps of MMA.
Jeez. You mean the new Nidus where it,
where it's invulnerable.
Yeah, yeah. Oof.
I used to face it quite a bit as well. Kind of fell out of fashion against Prolos. We did see it today once. Of course, Elaser busted it out in Game 5 against Stats. And poor Stats opened up with a Robo. Or not, well, no, the Robo's not bad, but he opened up with a Colossus, which was quite sad.
Yeah, a bit of an immortal, as you were mentioning. I think it still has its place. I mean, the Novaseer was morphed in pretty swiftly there, so I guess even if the layer isn't for that Overseer to go over the other side of the map for a Nidus, then at least it will be able to keep an eye on the Cloak Banshees. There's a clear reconstitution.
Yeah, Scarlett just going up to 3 bases. Seems like she's happy with the cancel that she forced. Thinks that she did enough economic damage to just turn this into a macro game. I feel like that's relatively fast Tim. And we've seen a lot of mech in this matchup as well. So it's important for Scarlett that she figures out that she's indeed playing against Bio here. But if people say like, oh, Maru always plays Bio. I absolutely don't think that's the case in this matchup at this moment. I think Bio can still work, but it is very important to keep your opponent in the dark.
And these Hellbats are going to be in the dark eventually, because they're going to get killed off quite rapidly by this push out. No clear reconstitution has got fully chased, but it was enough.
Overseers have so many eyes, have you noticed?
They do have a lot of eyes, you are correct. They can see at every angle. That's what makes them such good detectors. Look at that. You can't sneak up on an Overseer, that's for sure.
Literally has eyes in his back.
Can you? I can't even conceive. All right, let's get into the science of this, right?
Okay.
As humans, we can see maybe like a very limited degrees in front of us, right? Because our eyes are facing forwards. Imagine your brain assimilating all that information and you can see all the way around your face.
I think it would drive me crazy.
I think that would be insane.
Yeah.
Whew.
That'd be so weird.
Yeah.
I mean, there must be a way to put on some sort of glasses that give you 360 vision around yourself.
There must be.
Yeah, but I don't think it would make me very happy.
That would be terrifying. Like most animals have their eyes on the side of their heads and they can see much more vision than we can. Like,
but they must have some dead space too, no?
Yeah, some do, yeah.
In between, it's like, oh, something on my nose. I can't see it.
What's that? What is it? Get it off.
Meanwhile, Scarlett is just macroing up the way she loves to do. 8 more drones are on the way. Double evolution chamber. Infestation pit. Okay. Kind of just expected a good old Hydralisk then here. Do you think that that is for Swarm Host because he thinks he's playing against mech?
I was thinking it might be Swarm Host.
Well, I don't think she's going to be very happy with her Swarm Host against Bio.
Nah.
It's not really what you're hoping for. Scarlett needs to get that Overseer into the main base. Unless it's straight up Infested, but there's no way. It must be for Swarm Host against mech. I think Scarlett has absolutely no clue what Maru is doing.
That if it was for Infestors would be very early and then...
Yeah, and without Hydras,
yeah.
This feels so odd.
Okay, load up. There's the Hive.
Oh my god, she really doesn't know at all. Maru is at 60 army supply. There are 2 medevacs about to fly into the main base. And I think even when Scarlett spots that, she's probably like, probably Cyclones inside of it, maybe a couple Hellions or Hellbat drops. You know, it's probably something among those lines. And I think this is one of the very first times that Scarlett is going to be very shocked to find Marines in her base. As these Marines will be unlocked, immediately drops a...
Yeah. And even that's just like, at this point...
Very exposed, by the way.
Yeah. All the drones are still working, but...
Where are these roaches? These roaches were so far out of position, which means that Scarlett immediately is going to end up losing 17 drones. All the hard work he did droning up, gone in the blink of an eye. Now Maru can just bounce between bases. I'm surprised that he didn't try to get a cancel on that base, but I guess he's just going to try to keep his units alive. Run to the other side of the map. I mean, Maru probably just realized that all that Scarlett is working with is roaches. Yep. And roaches don't do very well against tanks and marauders.
Yeah, exactly. Everything for Maru is revealed with that drop, with the harassment, with the damage he did, as well as just pushing into that base. And now, killing off this creep, he's carving his way into Zerg territory.
This is going to be an incredibly difficult hold for Scarlett. Maybe he can drop a couple of corrosive balls on top of the tanks, but instead he's going to go for the bio. But Maru is just stimming forward.
Yeah, that's a lot of bio killing off all of this at the front here. The siege tanks have not been reached by corrosive biles just yet. That's GG. Maru, swift 2-0, pushes on to his next qualifying opportunity.
He's going to go up against Deer one more time today to determine who is going to be the 3rd player that we will qualify for the Intel Extreme Masters group stage. World Championships Katowice next month.
That's right.
In a different order, but you guys are going to forgive me for that, I hope. You know, yesterday we had perfect race distribution. Like, we had a Protoss, we had a Zerg, we had a Terran.
Yes.
Today, we've had a Protoss. We've had a Zerg. No, we had a Zerg, we had a Terran. And now, we could potentially have a Protoss. But it could also be 2 Terrans, which I think people can live with. You know, the Terrans,
Yep.
they've had a tough time lately.
They've had a hard time. They've been beaten down.
Yeah, they need something to celebrate.
We need to build them back up again.
Really good performance here by Maru, of course. A little bit surprised about that last game, though. Yeah, it's not something you see that often where it just, at least from our point of view, you know, maybe Scarlett did the things he did for a reason, but I just really felt that Scarlett was in the dark, that he was just really assuming he was playing mech.
Yep.
And everything felt like he was getting ready for a big, long, drawn-out mech game, and Maru just made a 2-base bio push.
Killed and killed. Very good stuff by Maru. That means he moves on now to play this best of 5 against Dia. So we're going to go to a short break here for the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice qualifiers. And when we return, the final series of the night, morning, day, wherever you are in the world, it's Dia going up against Maru.